Boruto episodes 74 and 75, The Enemy Ino-Shika-Cho and the Trials of Ryuchi Cave. So for whatever reason, we got two episodes this week. It definitely confused me because I was like, oh crap, I must have missed an entire week and just forgot. And then I checked my page and I was like, nope, that was 6 days ago. And I wasn't super behind on the last one. So I was like, all right, didn't miss a full week of episodes. For whatever reason, we just got two this week. Maybe we're going to be going on break for the next week. I don't know how things are going, but for whatever reason, got two episodes, both of which I thought were fairly decent. I actually liked the first one more just because it was a bit more entertaining to watch the Ino-Shika-Cho, the new generation trio go up against Boruto and Sarada, and then the idea behind it where they ultimately end up joining them, I thought was actually pretty fun. I was like, all right, I like that idea. I like the fact that, of course it ends up coming down to Shikadai, and he realizes how things have changed. Like, the whole thing is, of course, him being like Shikamaru, where he knows kind of how to beat them and everything. It's like, I've seen you do this a million times, and I know that he's going to do the shadow clones. I know she's going to basically take advantage of everything. And then, we get to see Sarada fight Moegi, which I thought was a, cool little moment where it's like, she uses the Sharingan against her, so she dodges like one attack, but then Moegi does a quick kick, and it's like, I'm not a Jonin for nothing. So I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So thought that was entertaining to watch, nice little action segment, and then ultimately they do end up escaping. And it was a pretty great trick. And then it was like, all right, well, Shikadai realizes that things have kind of changed, and he admittedly gets kind of the talk no jutsu a little bit. And it's like, oh, things have changed. Sorry, Dad. And then, he's like, I'm going to join you. And so, he ends up joining Boruto, who's really his best friend. I've mentioned that quite a bit. Like, they're kind of the best friends in the show. So it made sense a little bit that he would join them. And then it's the same with Cho-Cho and Sarada, where they were always like the best friends before they had the official teams. And so it totally made sense where Cho-Cho was just like, yeah, I kind of want to help Sarada out. Like, she specifically says, Sarada's name because they're best friends, just like Boruto and Shikadai. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then, Gene's just there, much like his father. And so he joins them. And I was like, all right, I thought that was cool. We have like the super tiny moment of Moegi going up against Suigetsu, which I thought was super cool that he was so much more powerful than her. And she's like, holy crap, this guy's like super strong. So I thought that was nice. And then, just a little reveal where it's like, obviously Orochimaru sent him to distract her so that the kids could, eventually escape and kind of do whatever they're going to be doing, whatever this super weird long con experiment is that Orochimaru has going on with Mitsuki. We kind of get to see that go a little bit further. And of course, they do touch on the fact that Mitsuki leaving behind the snake had to have meant something. So they bring that up in this episode with Shikadai, where it's like, he left this snake behind. Like, he easily could have left. He could have left a million times. But he decided to attack the guard instead of just taking off in the middle of the night. He decided to attack and leave a snake. So why would he leave such damning evidence if he had, a million times where no one was questioning him and he could have just left, whenever he wanted. So it changed the game up, and it's like, all right, well, we still don't know where he is, so that's where we go into the next episode with the Ryuchi castle, or cave, where they're trying to meet the White Snake Sage, and they go through these three trials, or at least Boruto does. I guess everyone else was just, like, knocked out because of whatever reason. They knew he was the main character, so everyone else was just like, free pass. So, he goes through the trials, they don't eat the food, and it's like, all right, they go through the little puzzle section, which I was like, that's the easiest thing. He was still stupid about it because I'm like, all he had to do is use shadow clones, and I bet that would have been like way faster. But he went through, he figured it out, he broke a piece, he made it through, and then the ending was just like, all right, they hit him where it hurts, hit him in his heart, and if he fails, then he's eaten. If he doesn't fail, he succeeds. Naturally, he succeeds, and we get to the end, and then basically they're just kind of screwed over because the sage was just like, all right, if you get the reverse scale off this crazy dangerous giant snake, I'll tell you what you want to know. And that was pretty much it, which is super weird because it's like she was going to teach him Sage Mode, which I thought was pretty cool that they referenced the fact that she's the one that taught, Mitsuki Sage Mode. So she was going to teach him, how to do that version of Sage Mode. And I was like, well, that's definitely cool. And I thought they might actually go with that a little bit because they're just, doing crazy stuff with Boruto's character where he's just learning moves from like this move is typically related to this character. So they kind of just throw it at Boruto. But I liked it. I thought it was cool. I was like, all right, so now we're going into the next episode, which should be like I would assume the big action episode. They're fighting against a couple of snakes, or the one snake is changing color throughout the promo, which would be super cool, honestly. But I was like, all right, seems like it'll be a cool episode. This one, or the second one, I should say, was definitely simple. It was just like, all right, they went through the trials. All the trials were simple. They weren't like action trials, which I kind of wish they were, just because it's like, he's gonna pass. We know he's gonna pass the trials. They didn't eat the food because the woman mentioned Mitsuki's name, and he's like, I never said his name out loud. So they passed that trial together, and then that's when Boruto split up from everyone. The second trial was literally nothing. Like, it was just puzzle pieces, and I'm like, how could anyone fail? I mean, I guess normal people could, but I mean, this is a kid. I mean, not that he used it, because like I said, he could have used the shadow clones, and it would have made it a lot simpler. But once again, he made it, so it doesn't matter. And then the end, she just bit him, and it was just like, well, he knows they're illusions, so I don't know. But the whole point is that some people could turn, and a lot of people were going just for power anyway. So a lot more reasoning compared to I'm actually doing this to help my friend and figure out what's wrong, compared to I just want to be powerful and stuff. So it makes sense that a lot of other people would fail when they have like far less noble means. But simple episode, he makes it through, and then they're kind of sent on a mission that of course they're not supposed to succeed in, but naturally they'll succeed and no one will die, or they might get hurt or knocked down a bunch, but they won't die. They'll get the reverse dragon scale or snake scale, and then they'll get some weird answer. Like, I'm super curious like what the whole deal is here, because they kind of make it when the other woman asks the sage master, like, well, is it okay to promise that, which made it seem like she wouldn't have any answers to begin with, which I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't, because that was like, well, why hide all that stuff unless this is once again a part of like the main giant plot. So we'll see what happens. Once again, we just have to wait and get some answers, which they probably won't beat it in the next episode, so we'll see what ends up happening there. But either way, like the first one a little bit more than the second one, and I'm definitely excited for the next episode, because for one, it seems like it'll be action based, but if they do kind of shoot through it and we get some answers at the end, that would actually be great as well. But naturally, want to know what you guys thought about these two episodes, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. And of course, with the Ino-Shika-Cho trio joining Boruto and Sarada and them going into this crazy fight with the giant snake, I would love to know what you actually think the sage is going to tell them about Mitsuki, or will she have anything to tell them at all? Because at this point, it just seems weird. It was like, well, she just sent them to die, but if they succeed, is it one of those weird things where it's just like, sorry, and then they fight her and somehow beat her? Because that wouldn't make any sense. But I'm curious where that's headed, but would love to know your predictions. And like I said, definitely want to know what you guys thought about these two episodes in general. So please comment below, let me know. And of course, thanks for watching.